guys, it's Amber, and I am starting on a new small mini project. Something I've been wanting to do for about a year or two now was to get some of my older stories and Christmas memories down in an album. The problem is I don't have a ton of my photos from my family, and several years ago, like I don't know, like 10 years ago or maybe 11, I had a bad computer crash and I lost a lot of my stuff. But even then, a lot of our photos from before then were print, and my parents have all of them. They're not digitized. At some point, someday I will get them, but for now, I want to tell some photos with the stories that I do have photos of. So what I want to do is start out with this one. This was the first memory that I really wanted to touch, because I was talking about it the other day, and I was talking about how much I used to love decorating our banisters in our house when I was a kid. My parents don't live there anymore. And how I've always wanted to have a house of my own to decorate, and I finally live in one. So I can't wait to decorate our banisters. So I printed this in a 5x7. I'm going to make an 8 1/4 by 7 inch page. It'll be outside of the page protector, or I'm considering trimming a little bit. But I'm anticipating that it'll be outside the page protector. I grabbed these memory 1 through 5 cards here. I think these were from a kit from 2 years ago. Yeah, so this would have been 2019's set that I never used. I also have this Our Traditions and this memory 1 through 5 here, which at least are a matching set, and I could always cover this up or change the number somehow if I needed to. For now, I'm not planning to use those yet. I'm going to go through these first 5. So I'm going to print my journaling on here. And I have a handful of embellishments picked out until I can figure out one to for sure use. And I'm also still deciding on my pattern paper, so I thought we could kind of pick that out together. So I've got this red polka dot pattern here from Simple Stories Winter Cottage Collection. So remember, this will be to the right of it, so that's kind of what I'm visualizing here. I have Happy Christmas from Cartabella, which I kind of liked because it had the darker background and the greenery, and kind of had a vintagey kind of vibe like my photo. Not good quality at all. Thinking about that one, but it might be too dark. This is Busy Sidewalks by Crepe Paper. I haven't even really picked out which part I would use, but I kind of liked the blue background. It sort of seemed to match like some of the grayish tones of the shadows in the background there. And it's also just really beautiful. And I have this old basic gray paper, which I have been hoarding. I think I had it this way for a reason. Probably... No, I'm not sure which way I had it facing, because I had probably a spot picked out where there's some good flowers. Maybe like right here-ish, I think. You know, I'm thinking about the fact that this is the only part you would see. I really love this green one. And I also picked out this red version, but I feel like this makes this part of the photo stand out too much. Whereas with this one, the greenery and the red stand out, and the white, like the dark kind of fades away, in my view anyway. So I'm gonna quickly run this through my printer. And we'll have the journaling. So I have to do a custom size, but what's awesome is that I don't have to print it on, or I don't have to like tape it to paper or anything. Okay, go zap this through real quick. Pray I don't make a mistake. So one option that you can do is use matte photo sticker paper, but since I have the ability to select my photos sizing, I'm going to do that. So I picked this one because it has a Deck the Halls in green. I liked these puffy heart stickers that said "These traditions have my heart." I liked this flag that says "The Summer Moments," or possibly this one that says "Lovely." So once I get the journaling printed, well, nothing printed out on it, so we're gonna have to start that again. I'm gonna put you on pause. Okay, so the bad news is we had some problems. So even though I've been able to print multiple times before, my printer apparently I haven't done a 3x8. It will only let me do down to a 3.5. So I printed out onto my paper, and then I removed the lines, and then I used washi tape to stick it down. However, my paper caught weird, and this didn't even rip, it just pulled the paper off, and my carrier sheet curled under, and obviously it printed on my paper. And before I could like see how far bad it was, I tried to yank it out as quickly as possible so that it wouldn't print over the stripes. A teeny bit printed over it. We're going with it because I don't have another one. So I measured my block of weight there so that I could print on cardstock, because clearly this worked just fine until hell broke loose. So that's unfortunate. But what you'll notice, I put a little X on here so that I knew that every time I was putting my paper in the same way. So I'm now going to crop this and put it on here, and you'll never know. But it's still super frustrating that that happened, because usually my printer behaves pretty well and I haven't made too many mistakes in a while like that. So a little bit frustrated, but we will get there. So one thing I do need to do is I do need to crop a little bit off in both directions here. So that's 6.5. It doesn't have to be perfect by any means, but I don't want to screw it up either, because I can just make it slightly taller. A teeny bit more off here. Perfect. Like I said, you will hardly notice that, and I can try to put a little embellishment over it maybe. We'll see. So I'm gonna secure that down with some 1/4 inch score tape here. This one is from the Stamp Market, because scrapbook.com is out of their brand and my favorite Gina K brand. So I'm giving this one a try. I'm sure they're all the same, but just want to put a little piece on each side so that it doesn't like buckle out. It's very sticky. Okay. Well, the good news is that for the next few cards that I have to print out, I'll know how to babysit the printer so that that does not hopefully happen again. And I actually intentionally left this slightly wider when I trimmed it, knowing that if I tried to trim it exactly, I might make it too short. So I knew I could always just trim off the edge. It's slightly to the left, but it is gonna have to be good enough. So let me grab my page protectors. And what I haven't officially decided yet is if I'm going to put like memory number 2 on the other side, if I'm going to decorate it. Just haven't gotten there yet. I'm not really sure. Okay. I really we are back to our decision here. One of the other reasons I like this blue is because there's that little bit of blue in the stripe, and it kind of helps tie that in. Kind of drawn to that one. I think I've eliminated that option. And while I like the polka dots, I feel like they're a little boring. So we're gonna narrow it down to these two. And I think I might go with this blue one here. And now I just have to decide where I'm gonna cut. I don't want it to be like poinsettia, poinsettia. This might be a good one because it would kind of be like a trio here. And I just want to double check. These are definitely 8 1/4. All right. That's the one we're going for. The one thing that I hate about going with 8 1/4 is that if I was cutting at 8, then I'd still have exactly enough for like a 4x6, but otherwise it's a little shy. So the holes are going to be on this side. Yep, definitely liking that. I'm just deciding how low I want to go here. And I also think that I want to cut out a piece of this cardstock again with my Heidi Swapp die. This is from like, I don't know, 6 years ago, maybe longer. So I'm gonna do that, and that's gonna go right across the top here. Kind of overlapping my photo a little bit, just to create some interest. And let me get out my cutter. Punch out these little middles here. It's interesting, since I ran that through twice, it almost like flattened out my textured cardstock and embossed in these holes that you use to pop the die out. So I have to be careful, maybe only do it one time next time. It's a newer to me machine. My Cuttlebug plate got totally warped and it was not fixable, so okay. Like that. I need to maybe move it over. It's a little hard to see if it's like starting on that white flower. So the journaling is just talking about what I mentioned. It has our old house address, kind of like saying, you know, our home on Mountain Avenue, and then how I loved helping my mom. I loved that the lights plugged into my room. You know, I felt like really powerful, you know, because I could turn them on and off. And the joy I felt because I would walk down this hallway and then turn, and I could see the Christmas tree. Sometimes it was in front of the window. Sometimes it was front of the, or it was in the corner, but the lights would be twinkling. And it just makes me really grateful for the better photos I take now, because, you know, I just didn't take enough back then. I think that is the wrong color. Now that we're using all this white. And I really like this Traditions Have My Heart, so I'm going to crop this out so I can move it around on the page a little bit. And I might even let them overlap just a smidge. Kind of like that. I really liked this chipboard piece, but I think I'm leaning more towards this one. I feel like it needs to be over here. I don't want it to be like too much going on, but that was like the best place for me to add my digital art. That was from Allie's prep party class in 2020. It said looking back at the past 365 days, and I just deleted that part of the file. I think that's what I'm going for, is right there. So it's gonna be nice and simple. And I did debate actually creating like a little border just to make it look like really nice and finished. Of course, it's not wide enough. It's like 1/8 of an inch too short. But I could get that same look with some washi tape perhaps. And I'm not sure if this is from crepe paper or who this is from. Stripes make, it's just too busy with all the railings, and the stripes over here, it's just too much going on. I think I'm going to do this one. Needs a little something. And nothing else I have matches. Okay, let's get this all laid down here. So when I'm working with photos that are going to be mounted to something else outside of a page protector, I generally use score tape. Okay guys, so for now I've put this in this extra album that I have here, and I just wanted to show you what it's looking like. Really pretty. I love this paper. So I ended up deciding to go ahead and putting an 01 here for the year that this photo is from, and I stamped today's date. I wish I had gone up a little bit higher, but nothing I can do about it now. It's a little lower than I was hoping. That was my Heidi Swapp date stamp, and these are some puppy numbers from Allie Edwards Essentials, or Everyday Basics, or whatever it is, collection. So I will link up the papers that I used here, and just a reminder that if you haven't already hit subscribe for my channel, go ahead and do so, and you will be automatically notified when I post new content. Thanks so much.